सपना वो नहीं जो नींद में आए और दिल में झूठी उम्मीदें जगाएं। सपना तो वो है जो सोने ना दे और आगे जीवन में रोने ना दे। नमस्कार, मु सुभोजित आपण समस्त को स्वागत करची टू अ स्पेशल प्रोग्राम जा ना होची गेटवे टू अमेरिका। दर्शक बंधु, अमेरिका को अनेक लोक स्वप्नर देश बोली भावती। केवल सेतिकी नुहे, प्रत्येकटी छात्र छात्री स्वप्न थाए विदेश रे जाई पाठ पढ़ी सेठी सेटल हेबा पाई। किंतु प्रत्येक वर्ष इनफैक्ट एवरी ईयर अमेरिका को अनेक इंडियंस ट्रैवल करिथांती निजर भाग्य परीक्षा करिबा पाई। किंतु स्वप्न पूरण करिबा पाई से माने अमेरिका तो पहुंच जाती, किंतु वीजा रिलेटेड बा वीजा संपर्कित जहाँ सबू प्रॉब्लम्स थाए बा जहाँ सबू कटकणा थाए से विषय तांका मन रे किछि द्वंद्व रही जाए। तेणु जो छात्र छात्री माने जे स्वप्न देखती अमेरिका रे पाठ पढ़िबा पाई, किंतु तांका मन रे जो द्वंद्व थाए वीजा बा पासपोर्ट बा अन्य ए रिलेटेड प्रॉब्लम्स को नहीं, से प्रॉब्लम्स को सॉर्ट आउट करिया पाई आजर आमर ए स्वतंत्र कार्यक्रम जाना होची गेटवे टू अमेरिका। To move ahead in this program, we have among us our wonderful panelists. We have among us Fuous, Consular Chief, U.S. Consulate, Hyderabad. Welcome to today's program, sir.
Thank you.
We also have among us Vincent, Cilli, Consular Officer, U.S. Consulate, Hyderabad. Welcome to today's program, sir. And last but not the least, we have Shravani, Pere, Advisor, EducationUSA. Welcome to today's program, ma'am. Going ahead, I would like to start with a very simple and a basic question, which I feel that we should have a basic knowledge of it. What are the difficult types of U.S. visas, different types of U.S. visas that a general student should know, should be aware of? Vincent, sir.
U.S. Consulate Hyderabad processes many visas, but the three most important classes are B's, H's, and F's. A B1, B2 visa is for tourist or business travel.
Yes.
An H visa is for work.
Workers.
You guys are interested in F visas, and when you're the principal applicant, you receive an F1 visa. If you're married or have children, those are dependents, and they would receive an F2 visa. So today we'll focus mainly on the F visa class for students.
So as you rightly said, we would be focusing on the F-type visa, especially for the students. Yes, they are aware of that, the fact that they belong to the F1 or, different types of F categories. What is the next step? Yes, Jamie, sir.
Well, the first thing is they have to be a real student.
Yes.
And I want to make a plug for my friend Shravani, who works for an organization called EducationUSA. And they are the ones who can help students who are thinking about studying in the U.S. to determine what sort of school they might want to go to, what area of the U.S. they want to go to. And I highly suggest that anyone considering go to their office or go to their website and try to learn more about different schools in the U.S., what sort of majors that they offer. Once you've decided that, then you apply to a school, you get an I-20, it's called an I-20, it's a piece of paper that gives you permission to come to the U.S. consulate and apply for the visa. When you come to the consulate to apply for the visa, you need to show that you are a real student, okay, that you are not someone who has tried to fake their way into it. And we can normally tell by just talking with them that they have enough money to pay for school. And that tends to be the challenge that most students have. It's also a little bit difficult for us to understand how much money they actually have. So, school costs could be $30,000 to $60,000 a semester. So you need to somehow prove that you have the money to pay for school. And then the third one is that you intend to depart after your studies.
Coming back to Shravani, I would like to know, since you mostly deal with the courses thing and the kind of education forum that you promote in USA, what do you think that most of the students from India they apply for, or the kind of subject they look for, which is in demand right now?
80% of the students going from India are going at a graduate level. And in the US, when you say graduate, that's anything after a bachelor's degree.
Okay.
So a master's, a PhD would count as graduate studies. And the most popular majors, as they're called in the US, which is nothing but a subject, like we would say in India, are engineering, computer science to be specific, and MBAs are a popular one too.
Yeah.
And most recently, health sciences and courses like Masters in Health Administration and Public Health are becoming very popular too. But we still see 80% students from India going for graduate studies in the US. And EducationUSA, although helps students from all over India, we have 7 centers in the various consulates and the embassy, of course, which is in Delhi, Bombay, Kolkata, Chennai, Hyderabad, and then we have 2 satellite centers in Bangalore and Ahmedabad as well. Okay. So all our services are free. All students are open to go and visit any of the centers and get all the kind of information that they need to navigate through the application process. So we provide them with all the resources that they need to apply, but they have to still go ahead and do the application by themselves. And what's the most important thing for students is to find the right fit in terms of a university. So every student is different. Every student has a different learning style, a preferred learning atmosphere. So what the US higher education really promotes is for students to find the best fit.
I would like to know how student friendly is EducationUSA. I mean, if a student wants to visit a center in India of EducationUSA, how student friendly is the organization?
We're very friendly. We're open to everyone. All our services are free. We have a lot of online services as well, because we have our center in Hyderabad, which caters to the audience in Odisha as well. However, we have so many services that are online. All you need is internet connection and speakers. Probably you can access these webinars for free. Okay. We do them every Friday from 4 to 5, and you just need to click on a link and you can access these forums. They're interactive as well. You can type in your questions and get an answer to your questions. Yes. Oftentimes we have people from the US, like opinion leaders and people in the education industry, whether it's representatives from universities or representatives from the State Department. Yes, talk about the various aspects of the US higher education application. So it's a long process. It involves a lot of planning, at least 12 to 18 months of planning. So through the admission cycle, we time all our sessions according to when it is appropriate in the admission cycle. Okay. And everything is accessible to students. I highly encourage them to go to our website. Most of the information is there online. Okay. However, a lot of times if it's very nuanced information and very specific, they can call us, they can email us. There are multiple ways to reach out to us. Of course, online is one way. We also have American corners in different cities, and we have one in Hyderabad where they do not need to take an appointment. They can just walk in and get all this information for free. So we are very accessible, and we encourage all students to reach out to us in case they have any questions.
So as you rightly said, EducationUSA is completely accessible and student friendly. Thank you so much for such lovely views. So sir, moving ahead, this question is for Vincent sir. I would like to know, yes, a student has made up his mind to study in US, and he's willing to study, and he's also willing to do all the things by himself or herself, and he wishes to apply online for the visa application. So as what the research that I have done is, there are two very important processes for a biometric process, and another followed by an interview. Could you please throw some light on the entire process which happens in the visa interview and the biometrics part?
Sure. Well, the application starts online and it's pretty easy. You make a profile, you fill out the application, which is called the DS-160, and then you'll come for 2 appointments. They're both very different. The first one, you come to the Visa Application Center. We call it the VAC for short. You'll take your fingerprints and submit a photograph. Those are called your biometrics. Once that's done, there might be a few days or weeks before your interview. It depends. You'll come to the consulate, and I can describe the process. You don't have to come to the consulate very early in the morning. A lot of people want to get there early. They think they'll get in faster. You really won't. Come 15 minutes before your time.
Okay.
And once you do, you'll enter a short security line. Think of the consulate the way you'd think about an airport. Anything you can't bring into the airport, you probably can't bring into the consulate. That line's pretty quick, and then you'll enter the consulate grounds themselves. And if you've ever been to Hyderabad, you've seen the architecture. This is really a wonderful consulate. It's not a purpose-built building. It's a palace. It's over 100 years old.
Oh, that's great.
And the atmosphere is quite nice. You'll get into another line to take your fingerprints again. And you'll think, wait a minute, I just did that a couple days ago. We take your fingerprints again to make sure that you're the same person doing it.
Okay.
Once that's finished, you'll come to the last line and you'll talk to someone like me or one of my colleagues. And what I'd like to stress is the interview is not long. It's 2 minutes, maybe 3. And this is a very small part of a long journey. You guys are studying very hard in high school or university right now. You're taking your exams. You've got a lot of pressure. You'll have this 3-minute interview, and then you might go to the United States for 2 years, maybe more. You might get an H-1B and work in a U.S. company. This is a very long journey. So what I'd like to tell you guys is don't obsess. Don't get too nervous about this 3 minutes in your life. It's very important, yes, but it's easy to do, and I'm happy to talk to you.
Okay, very important thing that he actually shared with us. 3 minutes of interview and the life is all set. So because most of us has that kind of mindset that, you know, the interview process that happens inside the consulate office could be some type of brainstorming one. But as you rightly said, it's like a palace you can enjoy and feel that, yes, this is the gateway to my dreams. That is wonderful. Yes, would you like to say anything, sir?
I just want to add that the best interview is a conversation.
Oh.
Don't over-prepare. Don't overthink. Don't try to tell us what you think we want to hear. Just be yourself, answer the questions truthfully, and everything will go fine. It will be an easy interview, and you'll likely get a visa.
Oh, that's great. So, do you think, would I qualify the interview if I would like to study in US? Because I'm right now interviewing you, but at that time you would be interviewing me. So, would I qualify?
Of course. Yes, I mean the fact that you are asking us questions and that you have a job, and if you are planning to go to the U.S. to do a job or to do an interview there.
Going back to Vincent, sir, again, once they apply for a visa, I mean through online or through whatever modes of application is it done, what are the documents that they should be prepared, and what things that they should avoid? Confusion, like that's the most important thing. They shouldn't be confused while they're applying. They shouldn't have any, pre-planned things in their mind. They should be focused while applying for the application. So what are the things that they should keep in mind, and what document they should be prepared with?
Sure. As far as the documents go, as a visa officer, I want to see 2 things: an I-20 and a passport. You don't need anything else. If you have an I-20 and a passport, I will give you an interview and I'll listen to your story. You may bring other documents if you like, but normally I may not look at them. You might want to bring, well, certainly if you have a scholarship letter, bring that. That's very helpful. You may want to bring your letter of acceptance. You may want to bring your degree or your transcripts. Those are all fine. You may bring those. But just understand that the officer may or may not look at them. If he doesn't, he or she doesn't, don't worry about it. There may be a temptation, or someone may tell you that a certain document is necessary, that you will get the visa if you present this document. Those sorts of things are not true. And if you present a document, I'll most likely recognize it, and it will be an obstacle to your education. If you're tempted by that, walk away from it. Just be yourself, like Jamie said. Tell me your story. Show me the I-20. We'll talk about it. We'll work through it. Don't bring fake documents.
Students, aspirants and आगु जी रिसर्च करबा चाहउछन्दी अमेरिका रे तांको ठारू किछि प्रश्न पचारिबा एवं देखिबा हमर कोन प्रश्न रहै छि सेमानकर. So first प्रश्न पचारिबा. Yes.
Hello everyone, I'm Pratiksha Mishra and I'm from Sai International School. I have been to US this year and I got a tourist visa for 10 years. So what if I apply for a student visa after my 12th grade? what will happen to the tourist visa after if I apply for a student visa?
Nothing will happen to it. Your 10-year visa is good for 10 years. You can have an F1 visa in addition to your tourist visa. Don't worry about it.
So I think she shouldn't worry about, and she should actually pursue her dreams and should not think about anything else about the visa.
Absolutely.
And I have one very important issue to talk about. There are some students, or we can say people in particular, who believe in doing things through a certain agent, traveling agents, or they get the things done through a third party, we can say. So what would be your advice to those people? Most of the Indians do that to make things simpler, easier.
Well, I think Jamie and I both have ideas on this.
Go ahead.
Start. There's no prohibition on it. It may not matter, but I'm interested in you. I'm not interested in an agent or someone who has assisted you or sold you something. I'm interested in the person in front of me. And the process is so simple and easy to do that in my mind there's really no reason for you to spend your money elsewhere. You can do it on your own. You're all bright kids, you're all smart, you're all at the top of your class. You can do this. Just follow the directions on our website, visit EducationUSA, and it can be done very easily. Giving your business to a consultant is not at all necessary, nor is it encouraged.
I'm Sashruth from XIMB. My question is, after completion of studies in a US university, what is the process to start working there? Will I be eligible to start working there directly for a few years, or I have to go through a separate visa process? Can you please elaborate on that?
Everyone is different. Just because you graduate from a US university doesn't mean automatically that you will start working. A company has to petition for you, and the H-1B process is petition-based. If you're lucky enough, that's certainly possible. I don't think there's any prohibition or a gap or a buffer that you have between visas. And many people, OPT, yes. And many people receive H-1B visas here in India. Now, OPT, I think is what you're referring to, is called Optional Practical Training, and it's an essential part of many people's studies. If you're in a STEM field, I think OPT now is 36 months.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. And if you're in the humanities, I believe it's 1 year. You work through that with your school. You'll get a SEVIS update. Everything will be in the system, and you're granted that permission. And many students do take advantage of it, and it's a nice feature of the American education system.
Okay, I think that is a very important, vital information that you shared. After the completion of the courses, a lot of students go through the same mindset. Are we going to settle here, or are we going to face any kind of difficulties, or should we go back to our country? But with your words, I think they'll get a boost. But yes, we can also continue in the same country. Now, yes, definitely.
So students also have the chance to work while they're studying in the US. They're allowed to work for 20 hours a week on campus. It definitely has to be on campus.
Okay.
And you're also allowed what is called curricular practical training, which is CPT. And this is between semesters. Like, a lot of students in the US do not take courses in their summer semester, and they go out to look for internships. So whether it's, and again, if you have to work 40 hours for an internship, you have to convert to the CPT status. So whether it's your CPT or whether it's OPT, both of them have to be in your area of study. That's very important. So 20 hours a week you can work while you're studying on campus, and apart from that, CPT and OPT can be done, but it has to be in your area of study. That's very important. So those are the main things with work while you're a student in a US university.
Hello, I'm Aditya from XIMB. My question about is that suppose I've completed my education in the US and then I want to work over there. So I apply for the H1 visa, right? So what is like the time frame, like in what time will I be able to get it? And like suppose I've got some offer from a company, will the company vouch for me or something like that?
Once you are completing your studies, you would start applying for different universities, different jobs. And once you would get that job, then that company would apply for the H-1B on your behalf. In order to qualify for the H-1B, they need to go through the Department of Labor and determine that there is nobody who can do that sort of job. Once the Department of Labor has approved it, the Department of Homeland Security will grant you a petition, approve your petition for the H-1B. And once you have that, then you come to us for the visa. It takes now probably maybe several months in order for that process to get going. I have a friend who is a Bangladeshi. He completed his degree and he got his H-1B. He is now working in Iowa for he's a computer science engineer.
All right, so we end our discussion here. बहुत ही सुंदर डिस्कशन थिला, बहुत ही सुंदर भाव में आलोचना करते विभिन्न मुद्दा को नहीं विभिन्न इश्यू को नहीं आम कथा एंड इट वाज अ लवली डिस्कशन विथ यू. थैंक यू सो मच विंसेंट, थैंक यू सो मच जेमी, थैंक यू सो मच श्रावणी. कैन वी हैव अनदर राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज फॉर अ पैनलिस्ट प्लीज. थैंक यू. तो दर्शक बंधु आज ये कार्यक्रम आम बहुत किसी जाना पाइलु. एमती अनेक लोक था, एमती अनेक छात्र छात्री था जे विदेश में पढ़ा स्वप्न देखती किंतु तांको मन में किसी द्वंद्व थाए. आशा करुच्ची यही कार्यक्रम यही प्रोग्राम माध्यम आम से द्वंद्व को दूर करने को चेष्टा करूँ. एज दे से स्काई इज द लिमिट. आपणकर स्वप्न को थरे पर लगे देखु. आपन को स्वप्न अचीव कर आपणकर से रास्तार से पथर आपन को किए भी अटकाई पार ना. आज कार्यक्रम को आज अनन्य कार्यक्रम को यही शेष करुँ. आशा करुच्ची आपण आज कार्यक्रम भल लगी. थैंक यू सो मच. दिस इज सुभोजित पंडा साइनिंग ऑफ.